If your legs feel unusually heavy by the end of the day, or you notice tingling that wasn't there a few years ago, don't ignore it. After 60, these aren't just small discomforts. They're often the first quiet signs that blood flow in your legs isn't working the way it should. Here's what most people don't realize. Circulation problems don't start with pain. They start with limits. You walk a little less far than you used to. You stand for a shorter time before needing to sit. You move slower without knowing exactly why. This is how independence fades quietly, not overnight, but step by step. Because the symptoms come and go, many seniors brush them off. It's just age. But poor circulation rarely corrects itself. When blood doesn't reach the legs properly, muscles don't get enough oxygen, nerves stop communicating clearly, and waste products linger longer than they should. Over time, that strain increases the risk of clots, nerve damage, and serious vascular trouble, long before anything feels urgent. What makes this tricky is that common advice only goes so far. Walking helps, but stiff blood vessels don't always respond. Eating healthy matters, but not all nutrients affect circulation the same way. In fact, there are 4 specific vitamins that control how blood moves through your legs, how vessels relax, and how nerves guide flow, especially at night when the body tries to repair itself. In this video, I'm going to show you which 4 vitamins matter most, why each one plays a different role, and how they work better together than alone to support healthy blood flow in your legs. And before we dive into the first vitamin, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. For seniors, Health is here to discover how simple changes can lead to a powerful, healthy comeback. Let's start with the first vitamin. And this one is important because it works where many circulation problems actually begin, inside the blood vessels themselves. Vitamin B3, also known as niacin, helps blood vessels relax and widen naturally. As we age, vessels in the legs often become stiff and narrow. When that happens, blood has to push harder just to move through. That's when you start feeling heaviness, tight calves, or that dragging sensation after walking even short distances. Niacin sends a signal to the vessel walls to loosen up. When they relax, blood can move more freely down into the legs and feet. More oxygen reaches the muscles. More nutrients reach the nerves, and waste products clear out faster. Many seniors describe this as their legs feeling warmer or less tense over time. Not overnight, but steadily. Another reason this vitamin matters is how it supports cholesterol balance. When unhealthy cholesterol builds up along artery walls, it narrows the pathway blood has to travel through. Niacin helps lower the kind of cholesterol that contributes to buildup while supporting the kind that keeps vessels clearer. That combination reduces strain inside the arteries and lowers the chance of blockages forming in the first place. This is also why niacin is often connected to clot prevention. When blood flows smoothly and vessels stay flexible, clots are less likely to form. Circulation isn't just about how strong your heart is. It's about how open the roads are. The good news is that many people already eat foods that contain this vitamin. Niacin is found in everyday options like chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, peanuts, and almonds. You don't need anything exotic. Even small, consistent amounts add up over time. One important note, more is not better. This vitamin works best when taken in reasonable amounts, preferably from food, and as part of a bigger plan, not all by itself. Think of vitamin B3 as the opener. It helps create space so blood can actually move where it's needed most. But opening the vessels is only part of the solution. Because even with open pathways, blood still needs clear signals telling it where to go. And that brings us to the second vitamin, the one that supports the nerve-to-blood connection many seniors don't realize they're missing. Now let's talk about the second vitamin, because this one explains something many seniors feel but rarely understand. If you've ever noticed numbness, tingling, or a weak response in your legs, especially after sitting or lying down, this vitamin is often the missing link. Not because blood isn't available, but because the signals telling blood where to go aren't strong enough. That vitamin is B12. Here's something most people don't realize. Blood flow doesn't move on pressure alone. It's guided by nerves. Nerves tell blood vessels when to tighten, when to relax, and where extra flow is needed. When those nerve signals weaken, circulation slows down, even if the heart is working fine. Vitamin B12 is essential for keeping those nerve signals clear and responsive. It helps maintain the protective coating around nerves so messages can travel quickly and accurately. When B12 levels drop, those messages become fuzzy. The result is often tingling feet, numb toes, poor balance, and legs that feel slow or uncooperative. This is especially important after 60 because B12 deficiency becomes far more common with age. The stomach produces less acid, absorption declines, and many seniors don't realize they're low until symptoms appear. And those symptoms are often mistaken for just circulation problems when in reality, it's a signal problem. When nerves don't communicate properly, blood doesn't arrive on time, muscles don't get oxygen when they need it, recovery after walking takes longer, balance feels less stable. Over time, this increases fall risk and makes movement feel effortful instead of natural. Supporting B12 levels helps restore that communication. When nerve signals improve, blood flow becomes more coordinated, legs feel more responsive, sensations become clearer, and movement feels more confident. You can find vitamin B12 in foods like eggs, fish, dairy, and lean meats. For many seniors, regular intake matters more than large amounts. Consistency gives the nervous system what it needs to stay sharp. Think of B12 as the messenger. Vitamin B3 helps open the roads. But B12 helps tell blood exactly where to go. And when blood knows where to go, circulation in the legs becomes smoother, steadier, and far more reliable. Next, we'll look at the vitamin that keeps those blood vessels strong enough to hold that improved flow. Let's move to the third vitamin, because even if blood vessels open and nerves send the right signals, there's still one more problem many seniors face. The vessels themselves become fragile. Over time, blood vessels lose elasticity. They don't stretch the way they used to. They become stiff, thin, and less able to handle changes in blood pressure. When that happens, circulation slows again, especially in the legs where vessels already work against gravity. This is where vitamin C becomes critical. Most people think of vitamin C as just an immune vitamin, but its real power for circulation lies in something else entirely. Vitamin C is essential for making collagen. Collagen is what gives blood vessels their strength and flexibility. Without enough of it, vessel walls weaken, tiny cracks form, and flow becomes uneven. When vessels are flexible, blood moves smoothly. When they're stiff, blood struggles. Vitamin C also helps protect blood vessels from inflammation and oxidative stress. Over time, stress inside the vessels causes irritation, swelling, and narrowing. That's when legs start feeling tight, heavy, or sore after simple movement. Supporting vitamin C levels helps calm that internal stress so vessels can relax and function properly. There's another important role vitamin C plays that often goes unnoticed. It helps support the body's natural production of nitric oxide, the same compound that allows vessels to widen. So while vitamin B3 helps open vessels directly, vitamin C helps maintain that openness by keeping the vessel walls healthy. You'll find vitamin C in foods like oranges, berries, kiwi, bell peppers, broccoli, and leafy greens. But here's something many seniors don't know. Vitamin C is fragile. Light, air, and heat can reduce its strength. Cut fruit left sitting out for hours loses much of its benefit. Fresh preparation matters. That's why consistent intake from fresh foods is far more effective than occasional large doses. Small amounts, taken regularly, give vessels ongoing support instead of short bursts. Think of vitamin C as the reinforcer. B3 opens the vessels. B12 restores the signals. Vitamin C strengthens the walls so blood can keep moving without resistance. And once vessels are open, guided, and strong, the final piece becomes protecting that flow, especially in the smallest blood vessels of the legs and feet. That's where the fourth vitamin comes in. You can have open arteries, good nerve signals, and strong vessel walls. But if blood thickens or gets damaged as it travels, circulation still struggles. This is where vitamin E plays a quiet but powerful role. Vitamin E works as a protector. It helps shield blood vessels from oxidative stress, the kind of internal wear that slowly roughens vessel walls and makes blood flow less smooth. When vessels become irritated or damaged on the inside, blood has a harder time moving freely, especially through the tiny vessels that feed your feet and lower legs. This matters because those small vessels are often the first to fail. That's when people notice cold feet, slow healing, or a feeling that their legs never quite warm up, even when the rest of the body feels fine. These aren't comfort issues. They're signs that microcirculation, the final delivery system, is under strain. Vitamin E also supports the body's ability to keep blood moving smoothly instead of becoming sticky or sluggish. When blood flows easily, it places less pressure on vessel walls and lower stress on the heart. Over time, this helps maintain steadier circulation and reduces unnecessary strain during rest and sleep. There's another benefit many seniors don't connect to circulation. Vitamin E supports nitric oxide activity, which helps vessels stay relaxed. That means it doesn't just protect it, also helps maintain openness, especially overnight when the body is focused on repair rather than movement. Food sources matter here. Vitamin E is best absorbed from whole foods like almonds, sunflower seeds, olive oil, avocados, and leafy greens. These provide steady, balanced support without overwhelming the system. Supplements can be tempting, but too much vitamin E at once isn't helpful and can sometimes work against balance. Food-based sources are safer and more reliable. Think of vitamin E as the polisher. B3 opens the vessels. B12 restores the signals. Vitamin C strengthens the walls. Vitamin E keeps the flow smooth all the way to the smallest vessels. Now there's something more important you need to recognize. Circulation problems don't usually announce themselves clearly. The body doesn't send one big warning. Instead, it sends a series of small signals, spread out over time. And because each one feels minor on its own, most people don't connect them. That's what makes circulation issues so easy to miss in the early stages. So before we talk about how to use these vitamins together, it's important to recognize what poor circulation actually looks like as it develops. Let's walk through the 5 warning signs your legs may already be showing, starting with the earliest and moving toward the most serious. One of the earliest changes appears in the skin. Feet or ankles may look paler than usual, slightly bluish or darker in spots. Small cuts take longer to heal. This isn't a skin issue. It's a sign that oxygen-rich blood isn't reaching those tissues properly. Next comes pain or cramping in the legs, especially when walking or during sleep. You may feel a tight, burning sensation that forces you to stop and rest. Nighttime cramps that wake you suddenly are another clue. Muscles are asking for more oxygen than they're getting. As circulation worsens, tingling or numbness often shows up in the feet. That pins and needles feeling that comes and goes is easy to ignore at first. But when it becomes frequent, it often means nerves are under stress because blood flow is no longer steady. Cold feet are another warning sign. If your feet feel icy even when the room is warm, circulation to the extremities is struggling. This also makes the feet more vulnerable to injury and infection. Later, visible changes appear. Bulging veins or spider veins form when blood pools instead of moving efficiently. These aren't cosmetic issues. They signal deeper trouble in the veins. If several of these signs are present, it's important not to wait. Early evaluation can prevent long-term damage. Now that you know what poor circulation actually looks like as it develops, the next question becomes practical. What do you do with this information? This is where many people get overwhelmed and give up. They try one thing for a few days, then stop. Or they take one vitamin and expect everything to change overnight. But circulation doesn't improve through extremes. It improves through consistency and balance. Each of the 4 vitamins we talked about works on a different part of the circulation system. One helps blood vessels relax. One restores the nerve signals that guide blood flow. One strengthens vessel walls. And one protects the smallest blood vessels in the legs and feet. When they're used together, they support circulation from multiple angles instead of just one. The key is not taking everything at once. A simple daily approach works best. Focus on getting these vitamins from food, spread across your day. One good source at breakfast, another with lunch or dinner. Small, steady support gives the body time to respond without stress. Movement still matters, but think gentle and regular. Short walks, light stretching, and standing breaks help blood keep moving. Hydration matters too. Thick blood doesn't flow well, no matter how healthy the vessels are. What matters most is repetition. Doing a little every day beats doing a lot once in a while. That's how circulation slowly improves and stays improved. One important note, if you're already diagnosed with circulation disease, diabetes, or if you're on blood-thinning medication, it's wise to check with a doctor before making big changes. These vitamins are meant to support the body, not replace medical care. Good circulation isn't about aggressive treatment. It's about removing obstacles, supporting what's already working, and giving your legs the steady help they need to stay strong, warm, and reliable. At the end of the video, circulation isn't just about blood vessels. It's about how you live. Strong circulation means being able to walk without hesitation, stand without discomfort, Trust your legs to support you when you need them most. After 60, that kind of confidence becomes priceless because once mobility starts slipping, everything else feels harder. The good news is this: circulation problems don't appear overnight, and they don't have to be accepted as just aging. When you recognize the warning signs early and support your body the right way, you give yourself a real chance to slow, stabilize, and even improve how your legs feel and function. Small daily choices matter more than people realize. What you eat, how consistently you move, how well you support blood flow instead of ignoring it. Over time, those choices protect your independence and quality of life. Now we'd love to hear from you, and I personally read every comment. Which of these vitamins have you tried, or which one will you try first? Share below. We're building a community here for strong comebacks. So subscribe, hit the bell icon, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. If this was helpful, give this video a like and share it with someone you love. Join me in the next video. I've got more surprises waiting for you.